To ensure these functions run well, some watchers are posted 24/7 right in the face of Katulampa floodgate. These watchers would take care of the gates of Katulampa as well as the piling garbages in the river. The watchers of Katulampa believe that by taking care of the nature will take care of us.
Voice of Indonesia.
Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world. I kid you not, I promise you to talk about the National Awakening Day, and it seems that for this year it has been 117 years since, the Budi Utomo organization was founded, which marked the awakening of Indonesia during the struggle for independence. And we would like to see how the day is still so very relatable, but in nowadays context, because then and now is very different. And we will talk about it with the lecturer in the Master of Applied Linguistics Study program at Faculty of Cultural Sciences, Al-Azhar University, Indonesia. We have Ibu Nurdiana Ibrahim Usman. Assalamualaikum, Bu Nurdiana.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ma'am. And I'd like to, quickly go to the very important question. We see that, as I told the listener, it's been 117 years, or even the 117th National Awakening Day. And how would you see how the day is still relatable in today's context?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me in this Voice of Indonesia program. I think although it's been for ages, I mean the organization of the National Awakening, founded by Budi Utomo, I think has always been relatable with a current situation, because the history says that the beginning of the original idea of the organization was to improve Indonesian students at the time, their critical thinking skills and their access to education. So I think it's a never-ending process. It's a never-ending idea. So it has always been there. If we talk about the awakening of this nation, awakening of the national education. So, I think that's it.
But is it specific only in education sector, ma'am?
Yeah, well, I can tell you more about other than education, but since I work as a lecturer and a teacher, so I probably will focus more on education instead of other aspects or other fields like politics, or economy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we narrow it down to education, but can we talk about the younger generation, because you're a lecturer, of course, you face to face with the younger generation. This is a very cliche question, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think that our young generation still are aware about the national awakening spirit, not only the day, but the whole spirit of the national awakening?
I don't think so. It's declining, I think. Why is it declining? It's because of the social media and the advancement of technology. I'm not blaming the rapid movement of technology and digital media or digital era, but young generation, based on my observation, it tends to they lack of exposure themselves with crucial or important information by reading. If they tend to find out information, okay, through short texts like social media, on the social media like Instagram, Shorts, and Reels. So if I talk about my career, my job as a teacher or as a lecturer, okay, I'm very concerned with the decline of my students' critical thinking skills and then critical literacy. Do you know what? Budi Utomo started with the idea of education and then being critical to all aspects that they lived in their life, right? Okay, so I think the major concern here is, young generation has a lack of critical thinking and critical literacy, which is, if you start with less knowledge, less kinds of skills like the way we think, the way we view the way we view any phenomena, okay, social phenomena, okay, without basing on reliable information, okay, because young generation tend to rely on reels and shorts, which actually cannot give them deeper information about what's going on. Okay, yeah, so that's the beginning actually of, if we want to awake further, improve further, develop further, let's start from reading habit. Reading habit, okay, leads to critical thinking, leads to critical literacy. Okay, so that's my major concern in terms of education.
And if I may add a little bit comedically, we can say that the younger generation cannot avoid the WhatsApp group of the family because they accuse that the older
Yeah.
people are lacking of digital literacy.
Yeah.
But in fact, as you said, that
Mhm.
they do the same actually.
Yeah.
Because because of the, how do we call it, brain rot contents, not only
Yes.
the memes but also the whole
Yeah.
thing is actually rotting the brain, lacking of critical thinking. So
Yeah.
how do you think that we can we encourage people to even learn more, especially now? I mean, as a lecturer, you might face a lot of students maybe quote unquote cheating by using AI. Even AI now, like summarizing something, you can use AI. Is it even declining further and further? And then what can we do about it?
Yeah. So I have always told them that you lie to yourself if you use AI assistants, okay, in any subjects, that any courses that you are working on. Okay, it's not you, it's not your competence, it's not your capacity. Okay, so, well, I think how can we rely on yes, some AI assistance is to some extent it's important, but we can't just rely on AI assistance. But whereas the fact is the students now, because they especially Z generation and Alpha generation, so they tend to rely on AI assistance, right? Or websites, okay? Because we can find any information that we would like to have very easily through websites or through AI assistance. For yeah, to some extent that will be fine, but it will not help them to face challenges in the future. What kinds of challenges that they might have in the future? Okay, of course, it's about life, how to live this life, how to communicate with other people, how to work with other people. Okay, so you can't just have instant information to do that. Okay, to live the strength of the social life that we should live with. Okay, but we need to work hard. Okay, we need to make an effort, great effort. Okay, to do so, and how can we make the effort? How can we reach, the critical thinking, the critical literacy? Yeah. So I believe that critical thinking and critical literacy, yeah, to my knowledge and then to my background as a lecturer or a teacher, it's the basic skills that young generation, my students should have, okay, for living this life, not only for the courses, for the subjects they are taking, but also for other aspects in life.
Especially when they are looking for a job. Imagine they graduated from university but lacking the skills needed at
Yes.
jobs. Then
Yeah.
it will be like a lot of people graduating without even jobs. So
Yeah.
we are still go back to the critical thinking, the lacking of reading and effort. So to make sure people do this, the reading, the effort, so that they can reach critical thinking, what need to be done in the terms of education?
Okay. Yeah. In terms of the curriculum, for example, the curriculum development, teachers and lecturers should have an activity that leads the students to improve their critical thinking. So through the curriculum, not just give the students or ask the students, have the students do something that they can just acquire information, okay, but they should learn how should we do in the next level with this information. So I've got A, for example, what should I do with this A? Why do I do some things with this A? Something like that. Okay, so yeah, the integration of critical thinking and critical literacy. Although the government, I think, has been working hard, okay, for integrating what we call HOTS and LOTS, high order thinking skills and low order thinking skills, in the national curriculum. But still, I think there is a very little improvement or development in the quality of the national education. It's a very work hard, but I think we can make it if we can, work together.
So the key word work together. So it's not only by the lecturer and teachers, but also.
Yes.
Well, can I be a devil's advocate? We have been talking about the youths, but we know that youths are the produce of the previous generations.
Yes.
Then, so it also needed to be developed too by the previous generations. And apparently, this is quite saddening, right? We have been talking all this time, but how optimistic are you that we will finally reach not only the critical thinking, but also for the awakening of our people?
Oh, yeah. Well, to be honest, it's going to be a very hard work. Yeah, it's very challenging because it involves millions of people in this country. Okay, it's not an easy assignment, to make them work together. Yeah, because one has different perception, has different opinions, has different thoughts. Not to mention we have millions of people, I said. So yeah, it cannot, it's not an instant process, okay? But we need to stick. We need to stick and then be committed to the goal or the objective of developing this country through critical thinking and through critical literacy integrated in the national education curriculum.
Okay, so
starting from elementary school until high school, university.
So we stick together and walk together until we reach that goal together. At least we should have that in our mindset. Okay, thank you very much, Bu Nurdiana. It's been a very fun, I'd like to say fun discussion. And we know we can talk further about this. We can take a lot of hours talking about this, but I wish that we not only listening to this broadcast, but we also will take an action to make sure that the critical thinking is achieved and also for the development of our country. Thank you very much, Bu Nurdiana.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Listener, that is Ibu Nurdiana, a lecturer at Al-Azhar University, Indonesia. And as we know that reading is very important for critical thinking, and then critical thinking is very important for the younger generation to be the future, the hope, the future that everybody's hope for a country. So let's do it together with the same mindset that we need to develop our country, not only in Indonesia but also in your country, and also we share or join hands in making sure this future, this dream can be realized. So once again, happy National Awakening Day. Thank you very much for listening, and this talk can be accessed again on our YouTube channel, VOI Official.